Ayan. So we have here part 1, LDM selection and implementation planning. The first is sample milks unpacking presentation. So this is the sample. This is a learning objective comes from science grade 4. Classify materials based on the ability to absorb water, float, sink, and undergo decay. So the sample learning objectives, it was unpacked into several learning objectives such as name the material that has the ability to absorb water, describe materials that has the ability to absorb water, identify the materials that has the ability to absorb, and group the materials based on the ability to absorb water. Next is number 2, list of targeted learners intervention. Okay, so this is the sample answer. We have here the learner group and the targeted intervention. So the first one, learners without parents or household member who can guide and support their learning at home. So all we have to do for the targeted intervention is that coordinate with the barangay officials or VHW assigned in the area. Another, ask the help of some concerned neighbor or relatives, and if possible or the parents can afford, hire a tutor for the learner. Next, beginning readers for kinder to grade 3. Provide reading materials and parents should facilitate. Then for struggling readers, provide reading materials and ask the family member to assist the pupil. No access to device and internet, coordinate with the barangay officials or SK. Some of the barangay officials and SK officials are providing internet connections kasi. Then accessible, coordinate with the barangay and volunteers. For the IPs or the indigenous people, indigenized modules were being made. For PD, for PWD, persons with disabilities have access to SPED learning materials to address their needs. And locally stranded learners send modules via online, communicate with them via phone or messenger if problem arises. Next, we have the learning task. This learning task can be presented before the lesson, during, or after the lesson. So these are the tasks to be done before the lesson. Review, clarify concepts, present warm-ups, check learners' prior knowledge about the lesson, present connection between old and new ideas, and state lesson objectives as guide for the learners. We have here the lesson proper. Explain, model, demonstrate, and illustrate the concept, ideas, skill, or processes. Help learners understand and master the new information. Then next, provide learners with feedback. Check for learners' understanding. Another, after the lesson wrap-up activities, emphasize the key information and concepts discussed as learner. Ask learner to recall key activities or reinforce what teacher has taught, or assess and transfer ideas and new concepts to new situations. Next, we have here the assessment methods. We have here sample answers, classroom assessments, for example, formative and summative assessment. This assessment method shall be conducted by the teacher to track the measures and measure learners' progress and to adjust instruction accordingly. This shall be done in paper-based, offline, or online assessment. Excuse me. So marami tayo like quizzes, Kahoot, sa online, marami pong example dyan, appropriate to the context of the learner, to enable them to participate fully in the assessment process and be assessed fairly. Another performance task, we have also quarterly tests, another weekly assessment, and reflection. The most important one is the reflection. The teacher may provide a question via text or messenger for the learners to ponder. Provide, discuss the rubrics to be used for the activity. Next is the weekly home learning plan for one subject. So yan po, sample is for Science Grade 3. We use the idea exemplar in Region 4A. So ayan po. I is to introduce the lesson. D is for to development of the lesson. So pagpapaunlad, pagtatalakay, ayan, ang milk niya ay classical objects and materials as liquid, solid, and gas based on some observable characteristics. Then we have the E, explain. And A is to assess. So ayan, that is the sample weekly home learning plan. We have here the individual learning monitoring plan also. This is used for the struggling readers. So for example, struggling learners, I should say. For example, sa English reading, learners need is phonemic awareness, yung mga medyo nalalag behind sa reading. So intervention strategies, provide blending sounds, example, b, a, t, or matching and segmenting sounds, and provide reading flashcards. So that will be monitored, for example, November 1 to 30. Then, if the learner had significant progress, malalaman po natin through the report of the parents using this form, if they are making significant progress or not. Another is the lock engagement report. So here's one. So name of member, Juan de la Cruz. So parang ito po yung evaluation. So please indicate the context. So ayan po ang sample. Ayan. So meron din po dyan sa part B, provide the information requested. Another is the lock session report. We have here the lock ID, region, ayan, facilitator. So, materials and resources. This is the part A. Ayan. And we have also here the part B. So that is the lock engagement report. Another one is the accomplish LR rapid assessment tools with reflections. Another checklist is the material connected and relevant to the MEX. Yun po yung nakuha natin sa LR or sa LRMDS. Ayan. So that is the reflections. May tatlong questions po doon with answers. Then we have the finalized LDM individual development plan. So ito po yung pinaka-importante sa lahat. So ito po ay based sa PPST, sa mga domains ng PPST. So we have content and pedagogy, and we have also the next one is community linkages, and the other one is diversity of learners, yung pangatlo. Excuse me. So that is the finalized LDM individual development plan. Okay, for that, thank you. Para po sa mga gustong makakuha ng soft copy in Word format, editable Word format, mag-message lang po sa aking Facebook account or Messenger account. I-specify lang po doon, paki-attach lang po that you are supporting also my YouTube channel. Magpakita lang po ng picture na may nakalagay na nag-click po kayo ng like, subscribe, at share. Yan, with that, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Thank you.